Hey everyone, D3 here from my basement studio. And like I said earlier this morning, that as I was working out, I thought, hey, I could share some of the stuff that I've learned in the last 2 years about goal setting and share it with you. This also kind of gives me a chance to try out some new software that I've been working on and put it in through a live test here. So if there's a couple of glitches, just like, hey, we're still working out the bugs on things. So welcome to 2019, and just a couple of housekeeping items first. Let me just kind of reiterate here. The webinar is on 2019 goals, how to set and keep your goals without feeling like a failure. In that, so a couple of housekeeping things. You want to turn off any notifications. Anything else that's going to kind of distract you, and definitely get a pen and get a sheet of paper as well in there, because we're going to be taking some notes throughout all of this. Now, a couple of things. In the last couple of years, I've been blessed to have some wonderful personal mentors, a couple business mentors as well, and let's go back in here and. With those mentors, hi Mom, and with those mentors, I've been able to be very blessed in my growth and stuff, and so personal growth, as we learn in the book of Proverbs, there is no guidance of people who's failed, but in an abundance of counselors there is safety. And so when I think about goals, and when I think about how I've learned what I've learned the last 2 years, I've had four mentors that have helped me. So let me kind of look to you to my goal team. The first person on the left, this person here, this is Dan Sullivan of Strategic Coach. He works with entrepreneurs. Down here is Alex Sharfin. He deals with the entrepreneurial type. And up here is Russell Brunson, the CEO of ClickFunnels. They're a software and sales company. And then down here in the bottom right is Garrett J. White of Wake Up Warrior. And so just like, I've had mentors in my life, I want to be a mentor to you. So if you like what we're doing here, I would encourage you to like and share this and just, kind of blast it up. And hey, Colin, hello. And let's go from there. So the goals for tonight, what would it be if we didn't have goals for a goals seminar and stuff? So the goals for tonight are very simple. I want to work on 3 different things. I want to work on the 4 areas of your life that will help 4x your power. I want to show you the 4 criteria for attainable goals, and then the 4 protocols for goal setting. So like I said before, I want you to get out a sheet of paper, get a pen, and I want you to just, in that blank sheet of paper, I want you just to draw a simple cross like we've got here. We're going to work through this. I don't just sit here and tell you what to do. We're going to work through this together. So grab a sheet of paper, grab a notebook, grab a pen, and let's start with the cross here. So let me kind of switch over and do this. There we go. So now you can see that, and you can see me talking as we are working here. So the first thing, we're going to talk about are the 4 areas to work in. So the first one here is faith. Okay, of the 4 areas, this is our first, is faith. And so, and a lot of people, this strikes them odd that we would have faith as one of the 4 key areas. But truly, have you ever considered growing in your faith and stuff? Now, this whole presentation isn't about faith, but this is one of the major areas. When I help people as an elder in our church and volunteer in other organizations, we think about, how can we move our faith along? Maybe start by attending a church, maybe by volunteering, maybe you want to start reading the Bible or start prayer. A lot of different things. We won't talk about the specifics at this point. Just know that the first category that we're going to take a look at everything in is faith. Now, the next category, so back to your drawing here, is family. So the next area of the goals for 2019 is going to be that of family. And just think about this, have you ever considered growing in your relationships. So many times we take our family for granted, and we just think, well, my wife is here, my husband's here, my kids are here. We don't really focus so much on growing, but that is an area that we need to focus on. And as an elder in our church, I see a lot of dysfunctional families in the community that just don't focus on this. And this is one of the things I want you to consider, because at the end of your life, after all the money's been spent, after everything's been done, what do you have left? You have left your family. So do you plan time for that? And do you have a plan for growth? So that's our second area that we're going to start to take a look at for goals here. Now, the third area is fitness. And this is one that's well, quite frankly, it's on everyone's list. And this is also what I see from my own life, from just talking with many others. This is our biggest source of failures. Who doesn't want to lose, 15 pounds this year? Who doesn't want to get in better shape? Who doesn't want to eat better? So this is one to go. But if you just say those kind of pie in the sky goals, I want to eat better, I want to lose weight, they never get done. That's why they happen year after year after year, which is why we have to really focus on diet and exercise. Now, full disclaimer, I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a kinesiology expert or anything. We're going to go through some things that we're going to help on, which you'll see later. Always consult a physician. There's my full FTC disclaimer in there. Now, the fourth area is finances. And this is one that a lot of people think about, especially this time of year, that maybe they didn't get the raise they wanted, they didn't get more. So we've got finances. And I simply asked, do you want more freedom that money gives? Let me ask you, did you get a substantial raise this year? Or are you just simply living paycheck to paycheck? So as we think about goals in our finances for this next year, what has to happen for this year, 2019, to improve? Do you need a new opportunity? Do you need new skills? Or do you simply need new connections to move you along? So at this point, your worksheet should be looking like this. You should have your 4 areas: faith, family, fitness, and finances. And we're going to start to build upon this, right? So we're going to just keep working with this as our basis and stuff. All right? Now, as we talked about, 4 areas of life, we've got that. What? Faith, family, fitness, and finances. Those are the 4 areas, and this is where we're going to work off from here. Now, the next thing we talked about is the 4 criterions of goals. When I worked with my mentors, this was something that got hammered into me, and I struggled with. And now, 2 years later, many iterations through, this is something that when I help others, this is where they struggle too. When we think about those 4 areas, just pick one of them in your mind. All right? First in the new year, let's talk about finances. What do you want? Seems like a simple enough question, right? What do you want? So often when we ask that question, when I'm in a group setting, when I'm counseling people, they can't answer the question. The answers generally are, I don't want this, I don't want that, I wouldn't be willing to do this, I don't want to go there. It's a lot of negative. If you want to get your goals done, you have to ask, what specifically do you want? For example, if we're talking about finances, say you want to make more money, saying you want a promotion, saying you want a new job, those aren't going to happen, right? Just saying it that way isn't going to happen. It needs to say, I want to earn $10,000 more. I want to become a senior software developer. I want to become the manager of a fast food restaurant. Wherever you are in your career, what is the specific goal that you want? When we deal in generalities, this is where we lose it. Right here, this is, for most of you, I could stop right now. I've shown you the 4 areas. I've given you the first question. And if you can answer this 4 times for each of the areas, we're good. I could pretty much end this right now, but I'm not. And stuff. The next question is, after we know what do we want, we ask the question, why is that important? right? As I go through each of the 4 areas and I start to do my own goals, then as I'm writing stuff down, I always have to ask myself, why is this goal important? Now, maybe it's for, losing weight, because I want to stay healthy. I've got 3 teenage boys and I want to be able to run around with them. That's why it's important. Now, when I ask this, when I counsel people on goals or in career coaching or in church, these 2 questions get a lot of people stumbled up. This is where I spend a bulk of my time, is asking 2 questions. What do you want? And why is that important? And generally, it takes a long time, 30, 40, 60 minutes sometimes, to get through those 2 questions. Because it's always what I don't, and it's like, I don't know. Now, when I ask you, why is that important? I don't have a set answer, right? I'm not looking for you like, what is the Doug answer to go through this? I don't have a Doug answer. I want you to know why it's important, right? If you don't know why it's important, I can't help you. Every time I'm counseling with someone, either on their career or as a family, I say, I can't help you until you answer these 2 questions. It's that simple. If you can't tell me what you want or why it's important, I simply cannot help you. After that point, now we can go to more. So the next thing is, when will this be accomplished? When you say, I want to earn more money this year, well, when is this year? I want to earn more money by May 5th so that, the extra money I'm going to earn gets me a vacation in September, right? You've worked the numbers backwards. You got to have the go. It needs to have a date. I need a yes or no that I've accomplished this goal. This maybe, the gray area, that's where we lose it in goals. When will it be accomplished? It'll be accomplished by March 31st, by April 17th. Whatever your date is for that goal, it needs to have a date. Because guess what? We don't, most of the work that we do in life gets done because of a deadline. Whether it be at work, in family, at church, wherever, it only gets done because, the Christmas program's coming up. We got to be ready on this day. We can't just keep talking about it. We have to be ready on a day, right? When will it be accomplished? And then, how will you get it done? Now, a lot of people think when they go through other goal-setting stuff, before I went through my 4 mentors that I showed you earlier, a lot of times as we would go before, you say, what do you want to do? How are you going to get it done? How is the last thing. Because if I have 3 days to get a goal done, that limits my options to if I have 3 months to get it done, right? So how really is dependent upon time. There's sometimes we just get things done because it gets done. It ain't pretty. It's not wonderful. It's just done. And we move on. So we talked about what do you want? We talked about why is that important? When is it going to be accomplished? And how are you going to get it done? Right? So now let's go back to your worksheet. Right? Here's the worksheet. We kind of filled it back in for you. We've got our 4 areas: faith, family, fitness, and finances. Right? And then we got the what, why, when, and how. So this is where we're going to start our goals. Right? We can't do anything else until we have this in place. So make sure yours is looking like this at this point. Simple what, why, when, and how. Faith, family, fitness, and finances. Now, where are we in tonight's goals? Right? Because we've got goals. We talked about the 4 areas: faith, family, fitness, and finances. We talked about the 4 criteria. What do you want? Why is it important? When are you going to achieve it? And how are you going to get it done? Now let's start to get into some meat. Now let's start looking at rubber meets the road to get this done, right? But let's talk about the 800-pound elephant that's in the room. Annual goals just don't work, right? I never got them to work. Family members never got them to work. Friends never got them to work. Pastors I know have never gotten them to work. Maybe you get one here or there that you kind of were vague and it was kind of an easy goal. But truly, most annual goals don't work. And that's because people overestimate what they think they can do in a year, and they underestimate what they can do in 5 years. And that's why I read a statistic this morning that said 90% of people fail their annual goals by January 20th. We can't even make it 21 days before we're like, whatever. Next year I'll get a better job, or maybe it'll just happen by magic this year. Maybe this year I'll lose weight. I've tried going to the gym. This is why. So, 4 protocols. Protocol number 1, right? Short-term gains, which gives us tunnel vision. Short-term gains. I'm not looking at a year. A year is way too big to focus on. It's got to be a lot narrower so that I can control it, so I can look through it, so I can manage it. How does that happen? I now do everything in 90-day interval. 12 weeks, right? 3 months. However, so right now my current goals are through March 31st. That's where we're going, because this allows me to focus weekly on what needs to get done. I can be laser focused on the outcome because I don't have to focus on a year. I just have to focus for 90 days. This, for me, when I first learned this 2 years ago, this was revolutionary because, honestly, I will get more done in the next 90 days than before I learned all of this in an entire year, right? My 90 days is what it's going to help. So now I'll also do 3 goals in each of the 4 areas, right? In faith, family, fitness, and finance, I have 3 goals in each of those, right? So altogether, for 12 weeks, roughly, I'm working on 12 goals, right? I'm a math guy. 12 goals in 12 weeks, that's doable. Big pie in the sky stuff for a year, that's not going to work. So this is due by March 31st. So once again, we're helping you tonight in this sort of workshop go in and work. So you've got your worksheet again, right? Faith, family, fitness, and finances. And then in the upper right-hand corner, I want you to put due 3/31, right? All of these will be done by March 31st. Right now, you might have some other goals, like it'd be really nice if I did this, and you just can't get it done in 90 days. That's not for this 90-day period. You can start to think about what does it take to stack to get ready. But for right now, we are working on just the next 90 days. That's it. 12 weeks, 12 goals. You're going to fill this form out 3 times. So take the notes, write it down however. But on protocol 1, we're dealing with just 90-day short-term goals. Now, protocol number 2. This is forward progress. We want to see how far down the road are we making it towards our goals. This comes in every 30 days, right? So, started a new set of goals this morning. February 1, we're going to see, am I on target? I'm going to take a look at those 12 goals on February 1st. And I'm going to ask me 3 questions of each of the 12 goals. Okay, I'm going to take a look at the first goal that I'm looking on and go, what have I not done that I need to start doing? Now, there's some goals that I can't start right now. There are some goals I might not even start until March 1st just because of what needs to happen before that goal can even be possible to attain. So every 30 days, I'm going to ask the question on each goal, what do I need to start doing that I'm not doing right now to help accomplish this goal? Now, next question, what are things that I've been doing that I need to stop doing because it's either going down the wrong track, it's inhibiting me from completing this goal, or I'm just going in the wrong direction altogether? And these are questions that I ask my mentors when we talk about goals and take a look, because I don't know what I don't know. And so I might be blindsided and stuff. These are also things I talk over with my bride and stuff. This is what I'm hoping to do and stuff. So what if I need to start doing that I haven't been? What are things that I need to stop doing that just aren't working so I can accomplish my goal? And what are things that are working, but I haven't, I need to just keep on doing, Maybe it's waking up earlier. Maybe it's going to bed later. Whatever it is in your day, in your week, in your month, what are things you need to continue doing? So I take a look at the 12 goals every 30 days, and this takes about 15, 20 minutes is all. So February 1st, I'm going to take a look and go, okay, are we on target to hit these goals by March 31st? What do I need to start doing? What do I need to stop doing? And what do I need to continue doing so I can accomplish the 12 goals? All right? So, protocol number 3. I decide my time. Now, one of the things, I can't remember who credited this, that told me this, but if you don't plan your time, somebody else will. I don't remember where I heard that from. I listened to a lot of audiobooks. I listened to a lot of podcasts. I can't remember where to credit that to. But if you don't plan your time, someone else is. So we started with our 90-day goals. We've narrowed down to 30-day benchmarks. And now I'm going to start to take a look at planning 7 days, right? I'm going to plan out my 7 days. Every week gets a plan, right? I know at the beginning of the week, when I wake up Monday morning through Sunday night, I know what I need to do. Now, how do I know? I'm taking a look at my goals, taking a look at the 4 different areas. I'm taking a look at all 12 goals. And out of those 12 goals, I'm going to decide what is the one thing I need to do this week that helps move either all the goals forward or completes one goal altogether, right? What is it that's moving me closer, that's moving me down the track to get closer to my goal? What is the one thing? So every day I have this on my to-do list. It shows me the one thing, Doug, this week is this thing. Okay, so as I plan my day, we go. Now, of the one thing, we need to step it. We can't just do that. We need 4 key items that are going to accomplish this, right? So let me give you an example how I use the 4 keys. Let's say in my faith, I want to start volunteering in my church. But I don't know all the possibilities of that. So item number 1 is going to be simply research all possibilities, right? So I'm either going to talk to a pastor, talk to a leader, and say, hey, I'm looking at volunteering in my church. What are the options that I can work on? Well, you can work on the grounds crew. You can be a greeter. You can help, collect offering. You can teach Sunday school, and the list goes on and on. So item number 1 would just be to research. Once I have that, item 2 is to choose an area, right? Item 3 would be call the leader of that area to get more information. And item 4, sign a commitment card, or whatever that organization does. So as you've seen, I've taken 4 different steps that get me through what that one thing is. At the end of that week, if I've done all 4 items, I've completed the one thing, and the one thing, in this case, was one of the 12 goals. Next Sunday, do an eval and go through it and keep on moving. So that's how I work. I work with the one thing with 4 keys. Now, when I'm working on each one of these, let's take item 1. How am I going to decide what are the 4 things? First question I ask is, what is one of the 4 things? Why is this important to completing the one thing? Right? Just, sending an email. Why? Maybe that's important. Maybe it's not. Right? So you got to go, what is it that I'm trying to accomplish? Why is this important as an important step towards completing the one thing? When am I going to get this done? You see, as you start to look at all this, you see how the framework is very simple? I mean, I'm just asking the same questions again. What, why, when, and how, but at another level, right? This doesn't have to be complicated, but you have to do the work. That's what I hear all the time from Garrett J. White. You got to do the work. It doesn't need to be complicated. You just have to do the work. You know what you need to do. Go and do it. So I'm going to go through the 4 questions. What do I want to do? Why is this important to completing the one thing? When will I have this done? On all 4 of mine, I'll say, this is going to be done Monday night. This will be done Tuesday at lunch. I've got church on Wednesday. This will be done Thursday night. And this other thing, I need to work on it Friday, and it'll be done Saturday morning before we go to basketball, right? And then how? Not how am I going to get it done? How do I know the what is done? That's what it is. How do I know this is done? In the case of volunteering, step 4 was a signed commitment card. So how do I know? I have a signed commitment card, right? That's what I can show you. I have a signed commitment card, this item done, right? There we go. So what does my week look like when I fill out this on Sundays, right? I have the same form. Maybe it looks really similar to my 90-day goals, right? On top, I've got the one thing to do by end of day Sunday, right? I've got key 1, what, why, when, how. I'm going to fill that out. Key 2, whatever that is, what, why, when, and how. Key 3, key 4, and they're all there. And throughout the week, I go. Now, I'll take this, and I use Google Calendar. I'm going to put those things right into my Google Calendar and schedule time to work on it. Because if I don't put it on the calendar, it's never going to happen. I can say here that key 1 is going to be done Monday night, but unless I put an item on my calendar that says from 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock Monday, I'm working on key 1, it won't get done, right? I'll say, I'll get home, I'll do things with the boys, we'll have dinner, we'll do this, and before you know it, it's bedtime and key 1 didn't get done. Why? Because it wasn't on the calendar. Because if it's on the calendar in the boys' household, it'll get done. So you got the one thing, key 1, the 4 things that support it, and go from there. Now, one other thing that you have to schedule every week, and this is for the men who are listening. Men, you need a date night, right? The men need to plan this. Ladies, if you are watching this right now, stop, go get your husband, bring him back, and say, Doug says you need to give me a date night every week. There you go. You heard it from me. Men, you need to choose when is it and where is it, right? You need to take control of the date night. This goes back to growing in your relationship with your spouse, right? Now, men, I'm not saying you got to take them out to eat every week. It doesn't have to be expensive. You can see from the picture here, we simply went for a hike on the bike trail near where we live on that night. Sometimes we've gone kayaking. We'll go biking. We'll go hiking. Sometimes we go out to eat. Sometimes we go to really nice places. But the thing is, men, you need to set aside time. You're away from the kids, and you have a date night. Now, some of you are saying, Doug, I can't. I've got little kids. It's not going to work. I can't do this. Get a babysitter. Get a babysitter. If you can't plan to get a babysitter, how do you expect to do any of the other stuff? I mean, let's be honest here. If you can't simply get a babysitter for 3 hours, 4 hours, maybe, all the other goals don't matter. If you can't even do the simple planning of getting a babysitter, taking care of the kids, and men, you take care of this. You call the babysitter. You plan the babysitter. You plan the meal. You plan to get out. Whatever it is. It doesn't have to cost money. Right? Now, you could talk to another guy who's having a date night on a different night. And you guys just swap. I'll watch your kids Thursday night so you can watch mine on Friday nights. Right? It doesn't have to cost money. Men think, date night, I have to spend money. Nope. You just have to take time, set aside for your bride, for your spouse, and work from there. So that's every week. And you put it on the calendar. Put it on the calendar. Now, let's talk about Protocol 4. Let's take a time out for a second. Protocol 1, which is our 90-day goals. 4 areas. Faith, family, fitness, finances. Right? We talked about the what, the why, the when, the how. right? From 90 days, we do 30-day check-ins. From 30-day check-ins, we do a weekly plan with our one thing and our key 4 items to get that done. Now, how do we execute this daily, right? I'm going to show you a thing for daily power. This is stuff I've been doing now for, close to 2 years and stuff. So this is what we call our daily 4, right? We're going to work through those same 4 goals, same 4 areas, right? Fitness, family, faith, and finances, and what I've been trained as the hour of power. All right, we're going to take care of all of the things I'm about to show you in 1 hour. So let me ask you, if you want all these big goals, if you want a better job, if you want more money, better relationship with your spouse and kids, deeper relationship with God, all the different areas of your life, it starts with the daily 4. So let's talk about first, fitness. The first one is fitness. Fitness, each one of these has 2 components. So every day I'm working on 8 things, right? 4 times 2. First one we're going to take is fitness. This is when I wake up. This is where we start. First thing is 10 minutes of working out. Now I threw kind of a crazy picture here. I know it's not me. Some of you might think, hey, that looks like Doug. No, it's not. When we think of fitness, we think we got to go to the gym. We got to spend 2 hours on the exercise bikes or treadmills or working out. 10 minutes where your heart rate gets highly elevated. That's it. Right now, if you can make it to the gym, if you can run on the treadmills, if you can do the Stairmaster, if you can do all that, if you got time later in the day or earlier now, and you can spend more time, great. But start with 10 minutes, right? Hour of power. Here's our first 10 minutes, right? Dealing with fitness. Now, there's our exercise. What's the other component? Diet. Now, once again, I am not a diet consultant. I'm not a nutritionist, right? Should you do Atkins? Should you do South Beach? Should you high carb, low carb, keto? So many different things. I'm not your doctor. I don't know. One thing you can do, regardless of where you are, is a green smoothie, right? Now, a green smoothie is going to help your digestion. It's going to help give you energy, give you vitamins and nutrients to give you power throughout the day, right? All sorts of recipes out there. You have Google. Put in green smoothie. Try a few of them. Put in bananas, strawberries, whatever. There's all sorts of great recipes out there. But have a green smoothie, right? So 10 minutes to work out, 5 minutes to make your smoothie. That's our first 15 minutes of the hour of power. The next part is family. What are we going to do every day for our family? The first thing is I'd work with my spouse. Now, I want you to show a visible sign of love and appreciation. It could be a phone call. It could be a text message. It could be an email where the only thing in that email is love and appreciation. It's not, honey, I got this going on today. Oh, I've got this going on. You do this. I do this. Oh, by the way, P.S. I love you. Nope. If you're going to send an email, you do this. What I do, because I like a visible reminder to my family, is I take out note cards, just like you see here, paper note cards. You can get them at Walmart, any place, and I fill them out. And I lay them at the bottom of our stairs. We've got a little cabinet, so when they come down, first thing they see in the morning is they're going to see a card with each of their names on it, right? And for the spouse, you tell her how much you love her and something that you appreciate that she does. For the kids, once again, more of them have text messages. Some of you might, I know dads who text message, hey son, just thinking of you. I know, it's first day at work. Have a great day. Love, Dad. Right? I'll still write my kids out right now because when they read books, they need a bookmark. Most of my kids will use these notes as bookmarks in their books. So when they go to open up their Bibles for family devotions or they go to look at the first book that they're reading right now, there's a visible reminder. They're going to take a look at that card and learn something about Dad's loving them and Dad's encouraging them, right? And so visible reminder. For those of you, if all your kids got, cell phones, text message there, I prefer notes because it's physical, and I see them all scattered in their rooms. They keep them by their beds. They look at them. So it works. So next, faith. Now, in faith, once again, two components. First thing is, I want you to take some time for meditation. Now, I specifically put this picture up there. I know a lot of you are thinking, Doug, meditation, is that what you're doing? No. I run high speed all the time. Anyone that knows me knows I'm constantly on the go thinking, and sometimes I need to just clear my mind, slow everything down, focus so I can move to the next activity. All right, so what I do, I literally will open up my phone. I have it set to 3 minutes. I hit start, close my eyes. I just slowly work on my breathing. I'm listening to nothing. And I'm just trying to clear my mind of all the clutter of whatever it's been. If I've had a morning full of meetings, I'll come back. I'll put my headphones on with nothing playing, just so I can clear out the sound, close my eyes, put the 3-minute timer on, and go. This is time for me to focus, breathing under control, and to work. And so now if you got there's all sorts of meditation apps out there on your smartphones. If you can do yoga and stuff like that, that's great. You can always go above this. I spend 3 minutes. Now, at the end of that, I've usually been given a revelation, something I've learned about from the morning, from the afternoon, something I've learned or I need to focus on, and that's the next part, which is journaling. Now, journaling is incredible. I mean, I was looking through it, my journal yesterday, right? We're starting a new 90-day period, and I was going through kind of all of last year, and it's just amazing, like, I totally forgot about that. I need to work on that. I need to work on this. Things that I've learned through meditation. I just took a screenshot of one back from May. This is where I was reading this morning, and I was like, hey, let me just take a picture of this, snapshot it here. So I'm always looking at what have I learned today? What are things I need to work on or improve? Who needs my help? Who's on my prayer list? Who needs my help? And is there anything relating to my goals, to my 12 goals? Or is there a new goal that as soon as I get done with this, I'll put it down? So, I spend literally, like you see this, 3 minutes. For those of you that think like, hey, you're journaling, you're writing a whole book, you probably talked to my bride, right? She journals every morning. She's just writing page after page after page after page after page. I don't know how many notebooks she has. I write like 1 page is a lot. A lot of times it's a half a page or even a paragraph or two. It's like 3 minutes that we're going on. And that's really all the journaling I do. And now it becomes very helpful when I look back over all the journals I did last year. It's amazing to go back, you're just reminded of things to help make you better. Right? So journaling is a good piece to work on right there. Now, what else do we have? Finance. Remember, this is our 4th piece of our goals. We're going to work on this there. Now, what do we work on? First thing, discovery. What do I mean by discovery? It's simple. You have your 4 areas. You have your 3 goals in there. And as you're looking at your financial goals, I choose books, podcasts, audiobooks, whatever I can to learn about those things that are in my goal category. Now, sometimes I'll break off into other ones, like if I'm doing something with faith or with family and a goal there that I need to learn. So I'm a constant learner because, leaders are learners. Excuse me. Discovery. I read for about 10 minutes or until I get a nugget of truth that's worthy of going into my journal. Something that will help move the goals forward. Might not complete the goal, move the goal forward. So after I've discovered said revelation, now I need to declare it. And for some of you homeschooling moms, it might feel like this is what it's going to be like. Declaration is very simple. I want you in some way, public way, to teach whatever it is you've learned to someone else. Right? This could be a Facebook post. This could be a blog post for those of you that like to write. Some of you like to do podcasts. Sometimes it's simply telling your coworkers or your boss something you've learned that will help the company grow or help you with a certain problem and stuff. But it's some way of telling someone else, even if it's, if you're reading a book on, say, marriage or raising your first kid, and you read something, you could declare it to your spouse. If you're learning something about parenting, you can declare it to your kids. And we don't care who you declare it to. We just care that you declare it. Now, that's been a lot. Let's kind of take a time out. Let's kind of think back to where we've been tonight. We talked about the 4 areas of your life, right? We talked about faith, family, fitness, and finance. We talked about the 4 criteria to help you attain your goals, right? We talked about what do you want? Why is that important? When are you going to get it? How are you going to accomplish it? And then the 4 protocols, where we start with the 90-day goals, the 30-day check-ins, the 7-day plan, and the daily 4. So for those of you that have been taking notes, congrats. If you haven't been taking notes, when we get done here, start back at the beginning, go through so you can take notes, because the goal here is like a workshop. I really want you to do this so that you can accomplish all of your goals. Watch this. If this has been helpful to you, hit save, hit share. I want this to go out to as many people, and you probably have friends that I don't have. So hit save, hit share. I want to get this out to as many people. But this is your first worksheet, to do your 90-day goals, faith, family, fitness, and finances. And then from there, you do your one thing each week, your key 4, and what you want to accomplish. Why is this important to completing your one thing? When will it be done? And how do you know it's going to be done? So, any questions? That's a lot of information. Let me try and see how this software goes. Is there any questions that are coming in that you've seen come in here? Click to view. All right. So, hello, Mom. Hello, Colin. Hey, Will. It's good to see you, Will. Hello, Pastor. So, I guess if there's no more questions, I'm going to turn this off. Feel free to like and share this with your friends and fill out the sheet and take a picture and post it in the comments. I'd love to see what your goals are. So take care. Good night. God bless.